Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. This is Srinath Vishwanath, and welcome to the Info Marketing Secrets Show. So, today in this episode, we are going to dive deeper into. Oh my god, just a second, guys. I'm just trying to record my podcast. Also, give me a second. So, what's up, everybody? This is Srinath Vishwanath, and welcome back to the Info Marketing Secret Show. So, today in this video, I'm gonna share with you my origin story. As I already said yesterday in the last episode, that today I'm gonna share my origin story, right, from today on about how it all got started since from my schooling age and everything. So let's, guys, I have already shared my origin story a lot of times now, and but I learned this from my mentor Russell Brunson that we need to keep on sharing our origin story. Yes, because every time there are like a lot of new people listening to our stories, and we are going to get bored of telling the stories again and again, a lot more faster than the people who are listening to our stories. Yes. Okay. And even my mentor does the same thing. Whenever I watch some of his video, he keeps on sharing his origin story. Okay. And I think that grabbed my attention, and I became a true raving fan to Russell Brunson, my mentor. Okay. So I'm just trying to model him, uh, and also because of this brand new show, and so, a lot of new podcast listeners also joined inside of my podcast. So I felt like it's time for me to share my origin story. Okay. So guys, it all started in my schooling age. Okay. So when I was in the schooling age, I was like a very shy introvert guy who was like very shy guy. Okay, introvert person, where I was not even able to speak with my classmates because of my over shyness. Okay. So, and also I'm very much shy, sorry, very much shy towards girls even at that point. Okay, even today, of course. And also, I was very bad at education. Yes, I used to get failed in a lot of subjects since from the schooling age itself. So, but somehow I used to get passed out in the final annual examinations. Okay, because of the supplies and everything. And that's how my schooling was going on. Every day I used to cry for not to go to school, and but somehow my parents used to drop me at the school, and that was how my schooling was used to happen. But finally, somehow I completed my you know graduation, sorry, my secondary school education. Passed out 10th standard. At that point, I got joined into an intermediate, 10 plus 2, into a hostel, okay, in Hyderabad, some other city which was like almost 150 kilometers away from my home. So I got joined into a hostel. So at that point, when I was in the teenage, my dad used to motivate me motivate me a lot to you know become so successful in my life. Yes, to become a hugely actually, even in the since from 10th standard itself, when after completion of my schooling, I just used to get back home, and I just used to watch some TV, and I was just pass my time. Okay, without any vision or any planning to the future, because I was like ninth or 10th standard, right? So at that point, my dad used to show me the videos of the people who are like hugely successful, like the Ambanis in India. Okay. And the lifestyle videos, and my dad used to inspire me to create a successful life just like them. Okay, so that we can be everybody, I can have a luxurious life, right? So my dad always used to motivate me to become successful in life. So because that was in the teenage, and also it kept on continuous even in the intermediate. So because of his inspiration, I got that fire to become a multi-millionaire. Yes, that's my dream, and that's my goal even today, guys. Okay. So whatever I'm doing today is a part of the dream itself, this info business and everything. So that's my dream since from my childhood. So uh, I joined into the hostel. Again, there's an incident that I want to share with you. So after joining the hostel, my intermediate college, then after 1 month, we just came back to home because of the homesick holidays. When we stay at hostels, we are going to get some homesick holidays, right? So we came for a holidays of like 3 to 4 days. And the college asked us to get back to the college after the completion of holidays on Monday. And I asked my dad that I will not go on Monday, but I will go on Tuesday. Okay. But my parents was so serious about my education, that because I was the first kid who was like going for the higher education, so they were so serious about my education, and they felt like, oh, you're going to miss your classes on Monday. So they haven't listened to me, and they just forced me to go to the college on the Monday itself. Okay. So they asked one of my uncle to take me and drop me at the college. So I was like crying, and my dad just booked like 2 tickets for the college, for the city where my college was located. So it was in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m. So I was like crying, even though I was so sad. I just got into the train with my uncle, and the train started to move. Okay. uh, and then you know what, I felt so bad, I got so mad that I just ran out of the train and just jumped out of a running train, guys. Yes, this happened in my life. I just jumped out of the running train, and I just fallen, and I was like kept on like scrolling, and then of course I got a little bit of injuries, but lucky the train was still in the station itself, haven't crossed the railway station. So I fall on the platform, and my dad came running to me, and he was started to scold me to do jumping out of the train. Even my uncle came down. Okay. So you know uh, I was like so crying, my dad was so scolding, and somehow he just, because the train has left, he just canceled the train tickets, and took me back to home. Okay. And on the way back to the home, I felt so happy inside me, because chalo, somehow I managed to stay at home uh, on the first day, to not to go to college, right? But you know what, after getting back to the home, right after a couple of hours, my dad again booked the train tickets to, again on the same day itself, again he booked the train ticket to go to the college. I felt like, oh my god, what is this? I just cried, I just jumped out of the train, I got injury, I got scoldings. Even though after doing all of this, still I need to go to the college on the same day, right? Because they were so serious, guys. See, I'm not saying that my parents were so harsh. It was like they're caring towards my education, towards my future. Okay. And because I was the first kid, so they don't know that on the first day nobody will be visiting to the college, right? Nobody will be coming back on the first days, right? So somehow I went to the college on the same day itself. uh, that's the incident. That's how my intermediate education was going on, guys. I hope you're getting the point. Again, same, I used to get failed in the midterm examinations, then I used to get passed in the final examinations. Okay. uh, I used to hate all of these subjects like maths, trigonometry, differentiation. Oh my god, that was like, what the f. I used to by heart the formulas, fucking thing, right? So you know but somehow I completed 2 years of my intermediate, and I came back to the home, and I joined into the uh, BTech, computer science education, in my own city again. So I used to go, it was like a day scholar. Okay. So at that point, because my dad already gave me the fire to become a successful in life, right? So I never got interest in an education, academical education. Okay, to the colleges, to the subjects, to the maths, to the physics, to the chemistry. No, I never used to get the interest to read those books. But you know what? I got the interest to read the books which are like personality development books, self-help books, motivational books, and a lot of business books. Uh, but guys, the first book that I read was like called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yes, I hope you know Rich Dad Poor Dad book, right? So that's the first book I read, and I can say that that completely shifted a lot of things for me, because I learned a lot of things from that book. But the one thing that was the biggest takeaway from that particular book to me was like, I just discovered that to become a successful person, to make a lot of money, hugely rich, to become a multimillionaire, we need to be starting a business, but we should not turn into a 9 to 5 job. Yes, And that's when I decided that I'm not going to join into any job. I will be only starting my business after my graduation. Okay, so then because that book was so awesome, I felt like, oh my god, I got a lot of knowledge. Then that became my habit of reading books. I started to read the book after the book after the book. A lot of books in middle, like the guide to investing, some of the business books, because now I got to know about business, right? Up to that point I used to read self-help books, but because now I came to know the importance of that I should start some business, so I started to read the books which are related to business. Okay, and but I never used to, again, even in my BTech graduation, again I used to got a lot of backlogs. Again, I used to fail in the examinations. That's the process, guys. Okay, and finally I completed all of my backlogs and all of my supplies in the 4 years itself, in the ending of 4 years, without wasting any extra years. Okay, so you know what, I started to read books, and I was very clear that I'm going to start a business after my graduation, right? So right after completion of my graduation, I started to ask my dad to start some another business, because my dad we already got a very good shop in the very good market. So somehow I convinced my dad to start some offline business. Actually, the first business was offline business. I had to get the manufacture and sell LED bulbs. LED bulbs, like with 1 year, 2 year warranties, right? Philips, Crompton, there are like 9-volt bulbs, 10-volt, 5-volt bulbs, right? So I used to get raw material, and we used to get assemble the parts, and we used to sell it in the market. Okay, the first year, it was fine. Actually, that was my first ever business. But because I kept on reading books, I came across a book called The Millionaire Fast Lane. Yes, I hope some of you may already know this book, right? So when my offline business was running fine, at that point I read this book of The Millionaire Fast Lane. And from that book, again, I learned a lot of things, but the biggest thing that I learned from that is this strategy of a business, which is like the magnitude or the scale, which means when we are like trying to sell some products. Okay, of course, after my graduation, I started this offline business, guys. Okay, I somehow completed my BTech graduation. I'm done with my education, and then I started this offline business, and it was running fine. And at that point, I read this book, and in that book, the takeaway from that book was like, to be able to make $1 million, for example. I just read this example from this book. To be able to make $1 million, we should be able to sell our products to 1 million people. For example, let's say that I'm trying to sell my product for $1. Let's say my product of my profit of on each product is $1. Then I need to sell this product to 1 million people to generate $1 million, right? Because I get per each sale, I'm gonna get $1. I need to get 1 million sales to get $1 million, right? Because I kept on my research on to become a multimillionaire. So, and the other way of generating the $1 million is to charge higher. Instead of charging just $1, charge $100. Yes, if you can charge $100, you only need like 10,000. 10,000 people. You only need to get 10,000 sales to generate same $1 million, right? If you sell your product price too low, you need to get a lot of sales. But if you're able to charge higher amount of price, you can only need few people, premium people, of course. Okay, not everybody will be willing to pay the higher amount for the products, right? So that was the biggest takeaway. I felt like, wow, this is awesome. And if we can, when we charge higher, and when we can able to sell it to millions of people, then we are going to create $1 billion business, guys. Okay, so this is the secret formula of making million dollar companies, $1 billion companies, building $1 billion companies. Okay, so I just discovered that from this Millionaire Secrets book. Sorry, the Millionaire Fastlane book. Of course, you can go and read it. That's an amazing book. Okay, the other thing that I discovered is the amount of money that we are going to make is measured in the amount of time that we are going to take to generate that amount. For example, let's say that I made $1 million in 10 years. Let's say that I took 10 years to generate $1 million. Do you think that I'm gonna call a millionaire? No. Okay, if I took 10 years to generate just 1 million, I don't call it a millionaire, guys. Okay, I'm not gonna become rich. But if I can generate that same $1 million in 1 year, then I will be called a millionaire and I will be rich, right? So to become a multimillionaire, we need to reduce the amount of time that we are gonna take to generate that money. Now the question was how to reduce the time, right? So because I was kept on reading that book, so I got to know about for the first time I got to know about the online business world. Yes, it was already written in that book that by having a website, worldwide website online on the internet, we can sell our products to a lot of people easily, right? Because websites are like worldwide, right? So that was my biggest epiphany, guys, aha moment. First doing business was my epiphany. Then that was my biggest epiphany that I should start an online business. If I had an online business, then I can easily able to sell it to a lot of people, right? Because to be able to sell my products to 1 million people, I need to at least show my product to 1 million people first, right? Now, if I want to do that in person, if I want to go to 1 million people and if I want to sell my product, and not everybody will be purchasing, then I have to meet at least 10 million people in person to at least get 1 million sales, right? But in the online world, we can show our products, our product videos and images to 1 million people like just in a couple of days by using some ads, Facebook ads, by paying some money to Facebook ads, Google ads. There are a lot of ways, right? And also the second, even if I try to use the second strategy, which is to charge higher amount to my products, again I should able to find these premium customers, premium people who are ready, who got that, who are like who are able to pay that hefty amount of money that I'm going to charge them, right? We cannot find them easily on the offline world, right? But if I sit on my online, if we start my business on online, then I can market it to any richest city in this world, right? I can market directly, show my ads to the people in the United States or to the people in the UK, to the Australia, right? By using Facebook ads. Of course, for the people who don't know that, we can easily do all of these things simply by using Facebook ads. Again, there are a lot of platforms, not only Facebook. So I felt like, wow, this is awesome. Okay, I need to start my business online. So that was my biggest epiphany, and I decided to start some online business at that point. Okay, so when my offline business was running fine, that's when again I started the business called dropshipping. Yes, Shopify, AliExpress, dropshipping, in which I used to sell the products from AliExpress site to direct United States. Okay, of course I used to add my own profit onto that product, and I just created my own website and I imported the products images and descriptions from AliExpress site, and I added my margin and I sold it to United States, guys. Okay, so whenever I get a sale, AliExpress used to ship out the product on behalf of me. Okay, so even that was like running fine. Of course, for the first time it was so bad. I again kept on trying. My first website was flop actually. Okay, I created something called lovelytops.com, and I felt like let's sell some ladies clothing because women or ladies are very prone to shopping, right? So but that was a failure. I haven't got any sales. Again, I kept on doing my research and my trial and error process. I somehow figured out the way to generate margins to sell products. So I got sold like so many different products, like guys, like some wristbands to baby products to beauty products to t-shirts to a lot of stuff. I sold like thousands of units on my website. And when both the businesses, my online, my offline business was running fine, I was like earning enough. At that point, my parents bought me the marriage proposal. Okay, and I got married. Okay, and I hope you know the next story because I have already shared it in the beginning of this info marketing secret show, right? So when both the businesses was running fine, I got engaged with a beautiful girl. But by the time of my actual marriage day, both of my online and offline businesses are gone. I was barely earning anything at that point. Okay, so guys, that was my journey. Of course, if you want to continue with my story, you can just go back to the beginning of this Info Marketing Secrets show, and you are going to. I just started my story from this point. Okay, so guys, let me share my first ever sale online that I get. Okay, so after starting drop shipping, after a lot of trial and error process, I got my first ever product. I remember the product, which was like eyelashes, the beauty product, eyelashes. So I just kept on running, because at that point I don't even know how to run Facebook ads. So I learned about Facebook ads. Again, I tried, and that's when I cracked the code to sell products online. Okay, so that was a lot of stuff, guys. I discovered how to create websites at that point, e-commerce websites, how to connect payment gateways, how to collect money, how to ship out the products, how to run Facebook ads, a lot of stuff. Okay, I just kept on digging deeper and deeper, and finally I cracked it. So, I just imported a product from AliExpress site, which was like $3, and I priced it as $10 on my website. Okay, and I started to sell it, eyelashes. So someone just bought the product. I started to run Facebook ads, and almost after 24 hours, almost after one day, I got a sale. My mobile gave me the sound of like the ka-ching. Of course, I used to use Shopify, and when we use Shopify application in our mobile, we are going to get, whenever we get a sale, we are going to get this notification like called ka-ching sound. Okay, that was very unique. So I became like very shocked, like, oh my god, what was that? I just opened my mobile and just checked it, that I got my first ever sale online. Okay, guys, there is a very special feeling whenever we get our first sale, right? So I felt like, oh my god, I became genius. I cracked the code to selling products online, and that was my first ever sale. But you know what? I was so happy that I shared it with everyone, my friends, my family. Okay, and after, I just opened Facebook Ads Manager to see what's happening there, and I came to know that Facebook just spent like $15 to get me a sale of just $10 product. Okay, can you believe this? Facebook spent $15 to get me a sale of just $10 product, which means I lost nearly like $18, I guess, in to get this sale, right? I lost the money on my first ever sale, guys. Okay, that was not a profitable sale. Okay, again, I stopped running Facebook ads. I became mad, like, oh my god, how Facebook can do this to me. I just stopped everything, and I was like so depressed for a couple of days. Again, I felt like, oh, let's sell a product which has got a lot of margins. So again, I sold some wristband on which I got like $20 profits. Again, I started to run ads after settling up the product page. Again, you know what? Right after starting the Facebook ads, within like first 30 minutes of starting the ads, my mobile again gave me the ka-ching sound, which means again I got a sale. Okay, so I just opened to see what happened, and I came to know that someone from US just bought like 2 units of the wristband I was like selling, the smart fit band. Okay, which means I got a sale of $60. Okay, I sold the product worth that, I started to sell. I imported the wristband from AliExpress site to my own website, which was like $10 on AliExpress site. So I started to sell it for $30. Okay, so which means I got $20 profit on each sale. Now, because someone bought just 2 units, I got like $40 profit on my second sale, guys. Yes, but this time I was so silent, because last time I shared my success with everyone and I lost money, right? So again, I opened Facebook Ads Manager to see what happening, and this time Facebook only just spent like $3. Yes, because the sale came so early after starting the ads. Facebook spent only $3 to get me a sale of like $60, which means I got like nearly $40 in profits, right? So that was the story, guys. That was the story of my drop shipping, and tomorrow I will be continuing with why I stopped drop shipping, what went wrong, and what is the reason of quitting the drop shipping, and what is the reason of getting into this info business, and everything. Okay, so with that said, if you got any questions or any feedback that you want me to look at, then make sure you comment down below. Make sure you record your voice. For the people who are listening on this podcast, make sure you record your voice message and send it to me. Okay, and also, if you haven't joined the One Funnel Away challenge, make sure to check the links below, and I'm just giving away like 10 different bonuses for free when you join the One Funnel Away challenge through our special link. Okay, make sure to check the link below. So with that said, talk to you again. Bye.